This is the Black Powder Podcast, coming at you live and direct.
Your salty tears season my life. It's the Black Powder Podcast.
And once again, it's on. This is the Black Powder Podcast, the only real libertarian podcast that has ever existed in the history of mankind. And I don't make that statement lightly because that is the truth. And I am Marcus Matthews, the only real libertarian. And whoever wants to shot at the belt, whoever wants to challenge me, I'm more than willing to debate you in the fact that I'm more of a real libertarian than you. And with that being said, I want to introduce my other host tonight, Mr. Eric Parker, who says he's a libertarian, but I kind of, I'm thinking like number 2, number 3. I'm not sure where you're at in the libertarian hierarchy, but you're not the only real libertarian. Eric, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing great, brother. By the way, thanks for having me as part of this enterprise. I've been enjoying it. Speaking of real libertarians and what it takes to be a libertarian, some people might say it takes running for office as a libertarian to be a libertarian.
Snap. Oh,
some people might say it takes having a libertarian podcast. Some people might say it takes maybe running for president or vice president or governor as a libertarian. If that's what it takes to be a real libertarian, that's exactly who our guest is tonight. Yeah. So I don't, he might be able to tell us what he thinks is a real libertarian.
Possibly. I in my defense, I say my calling was to bring the voices to the people. And that's where my niche is right now. But with that being said, I want to talk about what we've been doing in the past few months was bringing you local libertarian candidates, city, county, school board level. And I want to say it's been it was my pleasure to talk to all of these people because it just truly brought you what libertarians are all about. We're not trying to be in your life, and we're not these crazed people that want to put dresses on your kids or put dope in their hands or anything of the sort. We're just people that want the government out of your life as much as possible. With that being said, within our series, like I said, we've had local, but now we're going to step it up a notch. And this is going to be the last podcast before the election. And I was thinking to myself when this guest confirmed that they were going to be on, this is, for the lack of a better term, a climax of this series of candidates that we've had on here with probably the most prominent libertarian that's running for office at this current time. And I'm not going to hold this back much longer, but I need to queue up my media assets. With that being said, I want to introduce our audience to our guest tonight, Mr. Larry Sharpe.
Hey guys.
Sorry. how are we doing, Mr. Sharpe?
I shocked them into stopping when they saw how handsome and how goddamn good looking I was. They went, "What?" And they actually stopped and were like, "Oh my God," and then had to reclap. I get it. It happens often. It's challenging when you're as good looking as I am. It's challenging.
That is something that, as my brother eloquently said, I've had that too. I don't know so much about Eric, and definitely not Tub. Tub couldn't make it tonight. And, Tub is one of my dearest friends, and I love him to death. And
he's dodging me. He's
He
dodging.
is. I think he's
dodging
kind of
you.
scared.
Yeah.
He's kind of
dodging
scared
me. He's
because
scared.
we'd be
It's true.
on parity tonight with
Yep.
the brothers versus the others. And
That's
you know,
true. And he was scared. He couldn't handle it.
He wanted no part of it. Huh?
Wait.
See how he just left you
I'm not
hanging,
one of
Eric.
I'm
He
not
left
one of
you
the
hanging.
brothers, brother.
You were maybe the brothers.
Thought I was brother from another mother of another color.
That's right.
Well, I like that. 3 colors. Okay.
Now he thinks he has flows and bars like
Bars.
my guy Lars. Lars is
Lars does have bars. I've seen
Lars
him.
has
Yes.
bars. Yes. I saw
is
you
true.
on. I was watching you guys last night, and actually have a question from that your show last night with Lars on when you guys were talking on AI. But before we do that, if you've been living in some sort of cave or whatnot and don't know who Mr. Sharpe is, let's let Larry Sharpe tell you who Larry Sharpe is before we get started here.
You all know who I am. What are you, crazy? Everybody knows who I am. You could just Google Larry Sharpe. I'm the most popular Larry Sharpe in the country. Luckily, it's a true story. I don't know if I told you this before. There is or was another popular Larry Sharpe. There was.
Oh,
and he was a wrestler from the 70s. And he went by the name Pretty Boy Larry Sharpe. True story. I used to watch him when I was a kid, and he spelled his name the same way I spelled my name. I was like, that's me, Pretty Boy Larry Sharpe. So it was really good. However, it actually wasn't his name. His name was Larry Wheel. I don't know why he chose Sharpe for his stage name, but he did. So he retired, and then he started a school for wrestlers called the Monster Factory. So that's because he was making monsters. But he passed away in 2018. Oh. And when he passed in 2018, I became the most popular Larry Sharpe in the country. So I'm sad that he's gone. But as they say, the king is dead. Long live the king.
There you go. So like Larry said, if you don't know who Larry is, first of all, you're not a real libertarian.
True.
And secondly, what the heck's going on? Well, secondly, we welcome you to being a libertarian now that you know who Larry Sharpe is, because he's one of the most influential libertarians, probably after myself, Larry. I mean,
well, the issue is, hold on. Got to do a couple of things. Let's put us into the right category so we're in the right lane. All right, that's all I'm saying, the right lane. Now, when it comes to cool 2A podcasters, you got me beat. That's true. 100%. You got me beat. I can't. I'm not in that lane. I'm not even in that lane. You driving way faster than I'm driving. You way ahead. Absolutely. But when it comes to people who run for governor of New York, there is no other than me.
There's only
I have run 3 times. There is only one. I've run. It's my 3rd time running. And I'm doing it because it matters. I'm doing it because it's the only way to get ballot access in all 50 states. New York is the toughest one to get. And the biggest value that the Libertarian Party has, not the movement. I divvy up the movement from the party. They're 2 separate things. The party is one part of the overall arching movement.
Mm-hmm.
The party cannot exist without the movement. The movement can exist without the party, but the movement is stronger with the party. I spend my time in the party because that's my lane. That's what I'm good at. So I go there. I'm the guy who doesn't mind getting his ass kicked in the media. I'm the guy who doesn't mind going to debate. I'm the guy who doesn't mind doing the policy shit that you have to do to be a candidate. I'm happy to do that. I don't mind going out there, shaking hands, kissing babies. That's my lane. And in that lane, yes, I am the best in that lane.
All right.
And not to mention, you're one of the best for fundraising for a libertarian.
Correct.
Right? Boom.
Also true.
Sorry to steal some thunder if Marcus is going to make
you kind of did, because I was coming with the link. I was ready to post the link.
Go ahead.
Because this is the first thing we have to start with. And this is the Black Powder podcast slogan. Put your money where your memes are. Don't just make memes. You can give 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We can go all the way up. You can give a few bucks so a libertarian has a chance. Don't just sit there and try to be edgy on social media every single damn day and not do a damn thing. And then I don't know if that's a lot of people's creative outlets, by letting the duopoly just constantly trample over them, and then they have something to say. you'll always have something to say. How about having something to do like Progress Liberty? So with that being said, let's go to LarrySharpe.com/donate and donate, please.
So let me be clear on this piece when it comes to donating. Two things. Eric, you brought up a very important point. There's only 2 libertarians who've raised more money than me. Only 2. And that would be Joe Jorgensen and Gary Johnson.
Impressive.
Period. No one has raised more money than me ever, except those 2 people. And if this year goes the way I think it will, I will surpass Joe Jorgensen.
Wow.
So it will only be Gary Johnson. And if I'm number 2 in fundraising to Gary Johnson, I'm good. That is a good place to be. He raised $11 million in 1 year.
Holy cannoli.
I am happy. If I'm number 2 to him, good. But I want to go one step further if I could. There's a thing in New York State called matching funds. In New York State, if you live in New York State and you donate to me, once I raise $500,000, New York State will just give me $3 million. They match 6-1. So if I get $500,000 from New York State people, they will give me $3 million. Now, I still want money from people outside. Please give. I take everything I can get. I got to raise $500,000. I have to get, as you see, yard signs, shirts. I need all the things. I need bumper stickers, Facebook ads. I need all those things to move forward. Of course I do. I got to buy polling. Some polling came out, New York State just yesterday. I got to get more polling. I need all those things. Polling costs $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 for polls. I need all those things. So please give if you can. The maximum you can give is $9,000. That is the max for New York State for governor. But if you live in New York State, just $250 or less, New York State will match it. So if you live in New York State, between $5 and $250, go there, give that amount. New York State will match it. If I raise $3 million from New York State, if I get $500,000, I get $3 million. This is a winnable race. I'm not joking. It is a winnable race. Like I could actually be the governor of New York if I'm able to raise $500,000 and get those matching funds. Because how it works in today's world, for those who don't know, it isn't about who raises the most money. It isn't. It's about, do you raise enough money, which is a floor, to get in the game? That's the issue. Can you get in the game? In the case of New York City, that number is $1 million. How do I know that? Because once they raised $1 million, Mamdani raised $1 million, and so another guy named Brad Lander. So New York City matches 8-1, not 6-1. So they gave each of them $8 million. So they had $9 million to run their mayoral campaign. They were the 2 players next to Cuomo. Now, Cuomo raised $24 million and lost. So my point is, you have to raise $1 million if you're in a New York City mayoral race to be in the game. But raising the most doesn't mean you win. It just means you're in the game. So I don't have to raise the most. I got to raise $3 million. I'm in the game. It's winnable.
So
I want to
real
go
quick,
to this comment.
Go ahead. Let everyone read that.
From our dearest of friends, Tub. I'm about to donate to Larry because he's the dreamiest.
True.
You know what?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That kind of sentimental stuff really gets me right here in the feels, and that's what.
I'm a little butthurt. Tub's got time to comment, but he ain't got time. I'm just kidding. He's got some stuff going on, but and he's taken care of right now. So we're still going to give him a hard time, but we'll give him a pass too.
I want to get to this comment real quick. Larry, have you been on Are You Smarter Than a Politician yet?
Twice, and I won once.
I'm 3 times and I won once. I didn't win on my birthday, and that was some horse plop malarkey. But our guy,
I lost to Chase, so he's the presidential candidate. It's fine. If I'm going to lose, I can lose to the presidential candidate. It's fine. It's fine.
And I'm consistent. I've been on twice and I lost twice, so at least I'm consistent.
Oh, there you go. He says, Larry would be the best governor in the country. We need to make this happen. I tend to concur with that. I had a chance to slap hands with Larry at the California National Convention. Good dude. His keynote speech at the dinner was truly inspiring. And I'm not blowing smoke up your rear end. That's not my style here. But I was like, damn, if the people could actually hear what libertarians have to say, they would take pause in their voting in these JAs. Eric, I'll let you hand it off to you for your
I was just real quick before we move on past the matching funds. What are the 2 requirements? You got to raise How many
I have
votes
to raise.
and how much money?
Yep.
Or how
So
many donations?
a couple things. Number one is I have to be able. Look, I need to raise a bunch of cash, obviously, because that's how we win this damn thing. That's how we get the polling. That's how we get the advertisements. How it works, right? But I need to raise $500,000 from New York State residents and 5,000 of them. So 5,000, and then $500,000 from 5,000 people or more. And the funds kick in once I hit that $500,000 mark. That's when it happens.
I think it's totally doable. What's the cutoff? People can start donating now.
Now
we need to be in. Let's go.
Doesn't matter. Whenever it hits, right? Here's the goal. If I can hit that number before April is petitioning time. If I hit the number for April, I get $3 million getting the ballot. Getting on the ballot's a joke. With $3 million on the ballot, joke. Easy day. No worries whatsoever. There's tons of money to get on. Done deal. Ton of money for lawsuits. Done deal. So that's why we want to make that thing happen if at all possible, right? That's a critical piece. But I'll go one step further. I forgot who said Larry would be the best governor. Free, yes. Let me be very clear. I'm gonna go further. Further. If I actually win this thing, and again, it's possible with matching funds to win this thing. That's no joke. I win this thing, the entire country changes overnight.
Yes.
Overnight. Because they're going to go, oh my God, New York just went gold. Oh my God, New York just went gold. If that happens, it all changes. Why? Because people recognize that the third party is the way around it. Not just that. When I show up and I start saying things like, you know what, we have to rethink the Second Amendment here in New York State. And they go, we have terrible laws. You're right. So here's one of my first things I'm going to do is there is now a blanket pardon in New York State for any possession and crime of a firearm, because having a firearm is not a crime based upon the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Now, if you do something with that pistol, if you do something with that rifle, if you do something with that handgun, then that could be a crime, right? If I brandish it, if I rob somebody, I pistol whip somebody, I shoot somebody, that's a crime. But having it is no longer a crime. Blanket pardon. You do that, watch everything begin to change. They will rethink everything across New York State.
So also something unique about New York and your race is there's like a dual party ballot access situation. Can you kind of get into that if you don't mind?
Absolutely. In New York State, we have what's called future. Oh, Liberty Lady is correct. Guys, I cannot tell you how important she is. I'm sorry I'm cutting it off, but I want to make sure it's clear. If you say, Larry, I love you, but I don't have that much cash, no worries. Give me $10, $20, $50, $5, whatever it is per month. Per month is fine. I'm doing this. I'm taking this out of my life. I'm not working. I'm doing this for a year. So while I'm taking off for a year and going into debt for this, and I will go into debt for this for a year. My first run, I was $100,000 in debt. My second one, I was $40,000 in debt. I will go into debt for this. I will do it. I'm asking you to say, give me $20 a month for a year and then stop. Do it every month, $20 for a year and stop. That totally works. So monthly recurring is very good. If you can't give me $100, give me $20 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can. If you're in a great spot where you can do $500 a month because you're making that kind of money, I hope so. Please give me $500 a month because you're doing that well. I hope you are. But if you're not, wherever you are, that's where it counts. So I'm sorry, I went a little bit off topic. Let me head back down to what you just asked. New York State has what's called fusion voting. Fusion voting means you can be listed multiple times on the ballot under multiple parties. So you can be a Republican and a conservative and a Libertarian and a Unite and a Forward and listed every time, and all the votes together count. That's how New York State works. So I'm running for two party lines, the Libertarian Party line and the We the People Party line. We the People Party is RFK Jr.'s former party. That's the party that could not get on the ballot. But there's still an infrastructure sitting here in New York State that try to get them on the ballot. I'm taking advantage of that infrastructure. They know me. They know what I can do. They know I can get on the ballot. So we're going to jump on board. And we overlap completely on medical freedom. We overlap completely on medical freedom, and we overlap completely on ending lockdowns. Those two things we totally overlap on. So we can focus on those things that we join together and work together to make that happen. Two lines, two independent parties in New York State changes everything.
So to add on to that, is there Does that help you with ballot access? Does it cost more to do it for two parties, or
It does.
Is there an advantage?
Absolutely.
Explain
Yes.
that. Really get into
Yes.
it, if you don't mind.
We're going to have to spend time and money to do both, but here's the advantage. The We the People Party already has a good infrastructure and heavy donors. So that's it. They raised $1 million for RFK Jr. last year, and they got over 120,000 signatures. They only need 45,000. He got 120,000. They got thrown off on a technicality based upon his address. I will not have that problem, right? But they're already good at it. They know how to do it. The guy who ran it is actually my campaign manager.
Awesome.
So that can be done. Our challenge will be the Libertarian Party, because last time the Libertarian Party couldn't get enough. Let's hope we can raise enough money for them, get them up to get the Libertarian Party on board so we can get both. That's the issue. So
do you know if sorry, Marcus, these are all coming at me and I'm trying to stay on topic. They won't make sense later. Any chance anyone in the Libertarian Party can help you get his endorsement, RFK Jr.? And I don't want to name drop, but former chairs of the National Party that may have been responsible for, some
I have no idea who you're talking about. I'm lost. I don't know what you mean. Who?
But I'm just saying, any chance there's anyone trying to help you get RFK Jr.'s endorsement?
The reality of it is, I'm being realistic. The RFK Jr. is not going to endorse me unless maybe if I run the Republican primary or something. It is simply not in his best interest to do so. So I understand that. I'm not mad at him for it. But here's what I know. The people who support RFK Jr. know me, and they're prepared to help out. And that's what I care about. So, yes, that piece does matter, right? So that's helpful. But no, I don't expect it. Look, I hope he'll endorse me. That'd be great. But I'm not expecting it. He has stuff he's trying to get done, and that's okay. So I want to answer Daniel's question.
Yeah. How
can out-of-staters help? There are two ways out-of-staters can help more than anything else. I'll go to three on a side note. Number one, you can donate. The money still counts. Please donate whatever you can. Monthly is always awesome. It does help. Number two, you can join. You can go to LarrySharpe.com/volunteer and become a volunteer. I need social media warriors. I need people to go on social media, put my name different places, let people know. There it is, SEAL Team Sharp. Join them. We do a call every Wednesday, a Zoom call to tell what's going on. We need you to help me get on podcasts, all the things, right? Share stuff. The meme wars are real. You need to make memes, get them out there, do stuff. The meme wars are real. All press is good press. I'm not joking. All press is good press. The third piece is, if any of you are watching or listening, if you actually, you like a specific type of podcaster, a show you like, that you think I might be good on in any way, shape, or form, bug them to make me a guest. That's the best thing. Bug them to make me a guest. So literally say, oh, I watched this guy. He talks about technology. That's fine. Yeah. I like this guy. He talks about guns. Yeah. This guy talks about vaping. Yes, whatever. But I like this guy. He would like to talk to you. Let me bug him. I mean, email him, DM him, whatever. Hey, get Larry Sharpe on. Those are the three ways out-of-staters can help right there. And please remember something. Don't stop. So I DM'd the guy and he didn't respond. Wait a week, DM again. I put a thing in his underneath one of his posts. He didn't respond. Wait a week, do it again. Don't stop. That's how we got on Rogan in 2018. Just kept bugging people. Don't stop bugging the people these are people that you like, that you want to watch anyway, so you care. And it does not have to be at all libertarian. Does that even have to be political? I don't care. What matters is people know that I'm running. That is such a critical distinction. I don't care who it is. I don't care. If you did have a decent following and they'll have me on, yes, that's what I want.
I'd love to see Larry Sharpe on Theo Vaughn. Go ahead, Marcus.
Love it. Please bug him.
I was remiss in mentioning the fact that you've been on a lot of prominent podcasts: Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Pierce Morgan, Glenn Beck. A lot of, and you know, I don't know if there's any more prominent than the one you are currently on, because not only
I'm happy I
can
got
you,
here.
Yeah.
not only can
So-
you donate to Larry Sharpe, but there's also Shop Larry Sharpe. And
True.
that's one
There
way
you go.
for you to come forward and put your money where your memes are, like I said before. And actually, because when I wear my "You Are the Power" t-shirt and things like that, it starts conversations.
Yes, it does.
So when you wear somebody's t-shirt or you support their enterprise, it starts conversation. And most of the time it's with random people at the grocery store or walking down the street. It's like, hey, what's that? And you have a chance, because one thing I always loved about what Lars, when we had him on those many times, he was like, it was like evangelizing libertarianism to the populace.
Yes.
You have to go out there and bring people in, not by just saying taxation is theft,
Right.
and you know, all the cliches that libertarians are known for, just like common sense. I was like, hey, I know you were talking about adding an ADU in your backyard. Do you really think the city should have a say in you doing that? I mean, that's what the Libertarian Party, we don't believe in that. The government shouldn't be telling you what you can do with your property, and then you have to pay them. That makes it more expensive. That makes it cost prohibitive for a lot of people. And that's
Yes.
what libertarian, I mean, you talk to them in common sense terms. And I hate that term, common sense, because Democrats and Republicans use it all too much. But
particularly for gun control.
yeah. Oh,
Particularly.
there's no such thing as common sense gun control. It is a misnomer. It is an oxymoron. There's no such thing. I mean, it is not common sense to keep firearms out of the hands of the mentally disabled. That's not common sense. That's just practicality in life that you understand. I mean, you could try to frame it like that, but everybody knows, and I guess you could say it's common, but everybody knows that people who are a threat to themselves and others and have demonstrated that should not have access to firearms.
Yeah.
You know, we're not
after due process. You know, that's
after
where
due
the
100%.
libertarian.
No, wait a minute. That libertarian President Trump said,
Take it
take
first.
guns first, due process later. So clearly, Eric, you're wrong. I mean, I'm saying, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Obviously.
I guess I'm not a real libertarian because
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
you're-
That's the
misquoted
problem, Eric.
libertarian President Trump.
All right.
That's correct.
We
So, yes,
just
that's the
had
problem.
our first libertarian challenge of the night. We
Just
had
20
our dear friend and host of the Black Powder podcast, Tub Rohrbaugh. I guess that's how you say his German.
Close enough. Who
Fat
really
fascist
cares?
name.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, see that German flag right there?
Yeah.
Don't mess with my Germans.
hey, that's why he goes by Tub, because it's like, what's your name, Tub? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No first name.
It's
no
actually
last name.
Hans. His real name is Hans.
It's actually Hans. It is. It's Hans.
But
It's true.
he just did $20 monthly.
Yay.
And I would
go.
ask somebody to match that or do better tonight, so we
Yeah.
can have this Larry Sharpe telethon actually
We can't
produce some
let
results.
Tub win.
You cannot let Tub win. I'm telling
That's
you
what I'm
that
saying.
from the highest order. Don't be the only person. Don't let Tub be the only person that kicks in tonight. I wanted to. Last night you had a friend of the Black Powder podcast, Lars Mapstead.
Yes,
You
indeed.
were live with him, and you guys were talking about AI. And
Yep.
we're going to get to your policy stuff coming up. But I wanted to ask you, I was thinking about your show this morning, and I wanted to ask you, where do you think AI fits in with government? And
That's a
government
loaded question.
government using it.
Well, just pull up your policy and read it word for
Yeah,
word.
no, that's a loaded question. But no, the reality of it is, this is the part that people don't like to hear. And I'm being very forward.
Mhm.
A lot of people want to somehow halt, slow down, or regulate AI. It's not going to happen. And it's not because it shouldn't happen. It's because AI is actually a weapon system.
Mm.
People don't understand that. It's a weapon system. It will be on the battlefield in the next 3 or 4 years. It will dominate the entire battlefield. But not just will it dominate the entire battlefield. it will be the most strongest way of all types of asymmetric warfare. So they will be able to use AI to destroy your grid, to destroy your economy, to break your infrastructure, to stop your supply chain. If you don't get it first, someone else will. And the government knows that. So it doesn't matter what they say or how they act or whatever. It's why they're putting all the money into it. It's why it's not going to stop, even if it's a bubble. Even, look, Lars was saying it. It's probably a bubble, and it's going to happen, and it's going to displace people, and it's going to happen because what the government sees is if the Chinese get it first, they will disable our economy. They will dominate us, and they cannot have that. The government cannot have that. So we will do whatever it takes to beat them. If that means subjugating people, oh well. If that means firing millions, oh well. If that means UBI, oh well. We're doing it because we don't want the other, whoever the other is, to get it first. And I know that sounds horrible, but that's true. So what do I want when it comes to state government? I want AI to be used as a tool to make things more efficient so I have a smaller government. I do, no matter what, want bodies to oversee it because the one thing AI does not have and can never have is empathy. Lars brought that up. I bring it up too. There's got to be a body over that going, no, I know it makes sense to murder all these people and put them in the gulags. No, right? When AI says, let's stop building the gulags over here, you go, no, no gulags. Don't do that. What else can we do? Right? So as long as we do that, I think that's how AI should work. AI should be able, for example, here's a great example for AI. AI should replace almost all the people who are doing things like inspections and following regulations on, say, housing codes and building codes, like that, right? Why do I have to give it to a person where a person takes it and goes, well, Eric, I like you, so I'm going to let you build. Marcus, I never liked you. You don't get to build. And then Marcus goes, how about a check for 10 grand? Marcus, you're my new best friend. You get to build, right? That's how it works now. But if it just goes through AI, doesn't care if it's Marcus or Eric. It does not matter. But something else begins to happen. We can now begin to get rid of laws. What I mean, AI can go through every single law, look at it and say, we haven't used this regulation in 50 years. Get rid of it. We haven't used this one in 100 years. Get rid of it. In fact, the last 3 years, when people were building fences, these 17 issues only got in the way. Get rid of them. So we can use AI to prune regulations. That is the best way libertarians should use AI, to prune regulations without anything and to get rid of corruption. Because unless you're going to hack it, which somebody might, unless you're going to hack it, it's not going to change it. If you hack it, what, you're going to hack it you're going to hack it so you can build your shed? Somebody might, but fine. If you're that desperate to build your shed and you hack it, fine, you get away with building your shed. But it's not like you can hack it and get $1 bazillion out of it, right? It's not how it works. So if you do it to prune regulations, to prune things like that, I think it's a home run for most state and local government. That's how I would use AI. And you can fire those people. Right now, I need 35,000 and whatever across New York City, across New York State investigators. I now need 50.
Yeah. I just want to point out to the American people again, because I think a lot of people don't know this. Their internet was developed by the U.S. military as a means of communication to start with. And so was GPS. GPS was a military application.
I tested GPS in the 80s. I was part of the guys who tested it. We had a big green box, and it had to get 4 satellites at a time. That's how it used to work. 4 satellites. And we were testing it I was part of a survey team. And we were going towards survey points. I was actually testing GPS in the Marine Corps back in the day.
Yeah. So what I'm taking from you, you're saying AI is the next level of a WMD potentially.
Yes. Absolutely. Can you imagine if we had a powerful AI that we could deploy into the markets to do right now, over half of all buy and sell orders are done by AI today. Over half. Could you imagine if we could deploy that into, say, the Chinese stock markets and destroy them overnight? Put them into the European stock markets, destroy them overnight. Create the Black Fridays every week ongoing and just devastate their economy, or shut their grid down, reprogram their dams, whatever the case may be, right? So what would happen? We have to make sure we have the reason why there was the nuclear war is because of MAD, mutual assured destruction.
Right.
If we both have the powerful AI that can destroy each other, we will also have MAD. That will actually make an equilibrium. That's the reason. Why has Ukraine not turned to nuclear war? Because of MAD. It went from, we thought Ukraine would be World War III. It's World War I.
It is.
Right?
It's trench warfare. Yeah.
Correct. We thought it was going to be it's World War I. Why? Because we won't do nukes. Because mutual assured destruction. That's why we won't do it. So once you have that, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, so should we not freak out whenever our own government tries to use AI as the next 9/11, not to bring it too close to home, the next 9/11 so that they could pass the next Patriot Act? Do you get my point?
You're absolutely correct. No, you're right. Which is why I'm saying we have to understand it is happening and prepare for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should do nothing. I'm saying we should accept it's coming. Now, how do we defend ourselves knowing it's coming? There's still youngsters and like teachers going, we got to ban AI. Those people are insane. We're not banning AI. That's not a thing. It's not happening. We should say AI is coming. How do we use it? How do we defend ourselves against it? How do we, to your exact point, Eric, recognize that they're going to make the next 9/11 because of that? You're exactly correct. There's going to be the Patriot Act 2 because we're scared, whatever. One of the things I'm trying to achieve here, and this gets to me from the lockdowns. One of my things I'm doing is when I become governor, I'm going to push for an amendment to the New York State Constitution based from the First Amendment of U.S. Constitution to ban lockdowns no matter what. No lockdowns, no matter what. What people don't see at all, they don't. They hear First Amendment and they go, well, that's freedom of speech. True. Also, freedom of association, freedom of religion, freedom to petition the government, right? All those things, freedom of press. Lockdowns destroy all of those. Lockdowns are a direct attack and annihilation of the First Amendment. And the First Amendment does not say you get all these things unless I'm scared. There's no unless I'm scared in that. You get them even when scared. You get them even when at war. You get them even when things are bad. You always get them. So if instead we say no lockdowns, no matter what, in a constitution. Why in a constitution? If it's a law, the governor would just go, it's an emergency. Ignore the law. But if it's a constitutional amendment connected to the U.S. Constitution, now there's no lockdowns. Hopefully other states will follow and lockdowns will be against the law, period. So if you don't do it, what does that mean? If I can't keep you locked in your home, I got a shot at stopping the next Patriot Act 2.
That's incredible. I want to because I was talking about this today because where I work for a school district, my district put Wi-Fi access points on the outside of the school. And I looked at it and I said, that's one of the biggest waste of money I've ever seen in my entire life. And the logic behind it that I was told was, hey, well, if there's ever another lockdown or anything, there were students that didn't have Wi-Fi at home, they could come to the parking lot and be able to access Wi-Fi to do their schoolwork. And I was like, that's one of the most tyrannical concepts I could ever think of, where the government is telling you could come to the school parking lot, you just can't go in the damn school to learn. And I was like, dude, they spent thousands of dollars on this particular aspect of the project only for them to tell you need us in order to educate your children. And that's one of the things libertarians need to speak to the people. You know what? I'm going to say this. That's just a common sense approach.
I like it. I like it.
Larry, Eric had some questions. We're looking at your policies on your page. And I'm going to pass this off to Eric because he has one of the policy topics he wanted to bring up to you. So, Eric, go ahead.
Well, first off, I don't know how much it's changed from the last time, but I've always loved your education policy.
Yeah.
Specifically, and you can get into if there's something more exciting because you've probably covered it. I think you talked about it on Joe Rogan podcast, or let me know if it's changed. But your policy for high school students, whether or not they like choose to go to college, choose to go to trades, choose to go to work. And I'm dumbing it down, but and if it's changed since then or over time improved, would you mind going into that, your education policy a little bit?
What we want to do is we want to pay for education directly from a trust, a New York State social trust. What does that mean? It's very similar to a sovereign fund, like Norway has one, Singapore has one, Saudi Arabia has one. The trust is a separate company, not part of the government, with a separate CEO, a separate board, and it has a state charter with a mandate to pay for certain things in the state. One of those things initially would be education. New York State spends a whole lot of money on education. Super expensive, about $35,000 to $40,000 per kid per year. It's the highest in the entire world, not just America, the entire world. That's going to be cut down to $18,000. Why? Once you give $18,000, it goes to every single district for the amount of school kids assigned to that district. Who assigns kids to the districts? The parents do. So the parents decide what school district they're going to go to, and they sign up at a school district. Well, Larry, what if they don't live near there? I don't care. They can drive there. They can have a busing system. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Are the kids connected to a school district? Yes, great. That district gets $18,000 per kid. No strings attached. What does that mean? No extra state funds, no extra federal funds. What does that mean? No strings attached. Local people actually control their own school district. No mandates, nothing. Local people control their local schools. People go, oh my God, no one will be educated. Anyone listening who thinks that, remember something. Every president we've ever had has been educated without a Department of Education. Everyone. Every one of them done before. So we can somehow raise our kids and they can somehow get educated without DOE. Somehow we can put presidents. We put a man on the moon. I mean, in theory we did. We put a man on the moon without having a DOE, right? We made nuclear bombs without a DOE. Somehow we figured out we made scientists that can do that shit without a Department of Education. Somehow we did it. Yes, so it can be done. Number one. So not just that. $18,000 per kid per school. And when it happens, no strings attached. So that means I don't need all those administrators. Most administrators in New York State are because they're getting federal funds or state funds that have to follow the rules from the state or federal funds. Those are now gone. That's crazy. What if I want to have civics in my school? Home ec, shop. You may now, because guess what else that means? We no longer have to do a nationalized testing anymore. Done. Scratch nationalized testing. Why do I want that? All nationalized testing does is make kids who are bad test takers feel stupid. They then get labeled a dumb kid, and that stays their entire goddamn life. No, thank you. Let local people decide how they want it to work. I don't care. Have their own rules with the first grade, second grade, third grade, whatever they want. But Larry, then the government won't know how smart our kids are. I don't give a shit at all. It means nothing to me. I want parents to be happy. The reason why the federal government wants to know how smart our kids are is so they can allocate more federal funds. I don't want your federal funds, so I don't care how smart or how dumb our kids are. The parents will figure this out. Here's what I know. With what they're telling us now, our kids are worse than ever. Our kids are worse that they can't read. I'm not joking. Literally, my mayor of New York City said 2 years ago, he said, we're going to teach our New York City kids to read. What you been doing for 40 years?
We're finally going to get on top of that.
We're finally got it. We're thinking we finally figured it out. So I'm still not done. So once that happens, now the average teacher in New York State makes about $70,000 to $80,000 a year. That's a living wage in most parts of New York State. But the average administrator makes 2 or 3 times that. There are administrators in my state make $400,000 a year.
Jeez.
Yes, they can all go away now. And I don't have to fire them. The local school district will, on their own without me. Because they'll say, why do I have you here? We need grant writers. No more. We need this. No more. We now need just a couple. We need like a principal and some vice principals, and the rest can be teachers. Right now, the system tells teachers to stop being teachers and to be administrators. That's a terrible system. I want to keep my good teachers and let them teach. That's not what we do now. So that's the first part. And I'm way not done yet. You want me to go? I'm going to walk down this road. Now, that's one part. Next part. Once that happens, well, great. Now I take $6,000 credit if you want to homeschool your kid or if you want to give them to a private school, either one. Now imagine that means anybody who is unhappy can homeschool their kid with $6,000 credit or put them in a private school. You might go, Larry, why only $6,000? Because I still want you to have access to the district facilities. So you can homeschool your kid, but be on a football team. You can go to private school, but be in the math club. I don't want to break up communities because the kids go to different schools. Let them still be in the same community, same neighborhood. They can still be in a football team, baseball team, soccer club, whatever they want to go to in the same place. Use the school library, all that good stuff, and still be homeschooled or a private school. You will see now you have localized control. But Larry, I don't like that my school does X, Y, and Z. Well, you can join the school board and the state can't stop you from changing it. And the federal government can't stop you from changing it. And let's say you lose. You can't change it. Okay, great. Homeschool your kid. You get $6,000. Private school your kid. You get $6,000. Not just that. Kids with special needs. Some people have special needs. Kids have special needs. They want them to be with other kids regardless of special needs. Some people don't want that. They want special care for their kids. Special needs is an insane spectrum of wide. I mean, my God, it's crazy wide. So parents have to decide, is my kid a kid who should be with everyday kids? Does my kid need a special space? You decide. You got $6,000 to make the decision if you want to. I'm not here to decide. You're the parent. You decide. If that begins to happen, things will change. People will be happier and better. I'm still not done. We have to go from K through 12 to K through 10. The last 2 years of high school for most people is smoking weed and gym and study hall and video games. That's what it is. How do I know that? Because the average kid today takes 6 years to graduate college. Average, if they even graduate. If they're boys, they're not even graduating. Women graduate at twice the level of men right now in college. It's embarrassingly bad. So we're wasting time, money, and energy. Stop that. Instead, once you're 16, you graduate 10th grade in your school district. Your school district will have standards for graduation. If you hit those standards, you take a test. Statewide test. Did you pass a test? Pass or fail? You failed? You don't have a college degree? See you in 6 months, try again. Did you pass? You have a high school diploma. Done. You're good. Once you have a high school diploma, now you have options. I'm going to follow the model that they had when I was in the military. When I got out of the military, we had the GI Bill. And they gave me, I forgot, was it $20,000? Whatever. I forgot what number it was. $50,000. And I had like 10 years to spend to go to college. We do the same thing for them. $20,000 and 5 years to use it. Good luck. What happens? They have a couple of things to do. Number one, they can decide, you know what? I'm super smart. I can go to college now. I'm a genius kid. I use AI to learn stuff. I can't wait to learn. I'm a total geek. Go to college now. $20,000, go. Start now. You got 2 years for college. 2 years of college will cost $20,000. How do I know that? Government money. Colleges will always charge what the government will pay. That's how it works. So 2 years of college will be $20,000. That's what will happen across New York State. So they get 2 years of college for free. Go 2 years of college and now pay for the next 2. Here's the best part. When you actually go to college at that level, if you're that smart, you might graduate in 2-3 years because you're going to go to a master's degree. You're going to go to a doctorate if you're that kid. Say you're not that kid. You're not the brilliant kid, but you got a plan. You might want to be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. Awesome. Go to a 2-year prep school that preps you for that college. 2-year prep school that goes for that college. So I'm going to go to an engineer prep school, doctor prep school, lawyer prep school. So when I go to college, I am prepared. It's not 13th grade, which is what the first year of college is now. I go in as a senior. I go in as a junior or a sophomore. I walk in ready to graduate in 2 years. So I can go on to get my law degree or my doctor, whatever. I'm ready to go. You don't like any of that. Just go to a regular prep school because you don't know what you want to do. 2-year prep school. This is where your liberal arts degree would make sense. Take that now when you're 16, 17 years old, so you know if you want to do this or not, and you decide, you know what, college is for me, college is not for me. But you figure out where you want to go. Take those 2 years, figure that out. Next option you have, I don't want any of that crap. I want to go be a welder. I want to be a bricklayer. I want to be in the trades. Go to trade school. $20,000, what did it cost? Go to trade school. So you go to specialized trade school. By the time 2 years is done, you either have a license or you're in an apprentice program, depending upon what trade you go to. You're ready to make money at 18 years old. Go on with your bad self. Or Go get a job. Just go to work. Just go to work. Oh my God, Larry, at 16, they're not going to die in a loom accident. That's not how it works. That's not a thing anymore, right? That's some fantasy people come up with. You like child labor. Shut up. Lots of people my age worked when they were 16. I did. Lots of work when I used to work I worked in a beer distribution company wrapping up old bottles for recycles. You can work at 16. Stop that. The people who say that are just fucking morons. I'm sorry, it makes me so angry. Our kids
drive a car, you could get a job.
Our kids don't have a work ethic. Why? Because they sit in school till they're 24 years old being told what to do. That's why. Let them get that work ethic when they're 16, 17, 18, and know when your boss says show up at 9, it means 8:45, not 10:30. Yep. They will know that. Kids need that. Well, Larry, they'll make mistakes. The price for failure at 16 is nothing compared to the price for failure at 26. Nothing.
That's true. Yep.
Nothing. You're still at home. You're having a good time. Learn what you got to learn now. Go get a job. It's fine. We do this, you'll see many things happen. You'll see a ton of private schools pop up that'll all be $20,000 for 2 years because that's what the government's paying. You'll also see very specialized schools. You'll say things like a baseball school. I'm not joking. I'm a good baseball player. I can go to a sports school. Why would I need to learn art? And why would I need to learn whatever? No, play sports all day. Your job is being in the gym. Your job is getting strong. Your job is getting better. You will watch these people recruit out of our high schools. You watch colleges recruit kids out of our high schools like there's no tomorrow. We'll have a football college. That'd be amazing. A football prep school. You play football all day. It's awesome. Or whatever, right? You'll see that pop up. And when that happens, our kids will become successful. They'll be happy. They'll have purpose. I'll go one step further. You'll also reduce violence. How do I know that? Because the kids who don't want to be in school won't be in school bullying people. The geeky Star Trek kids will be in their geeky school, and the big jock muscleheads will be in their school, and everybody will be happy, right? They won't be fighting each other. They'll be there. It will change everything. That's how we make this happen. It will work so much better. We'll have better kids, happier parents, and happier teachers, happy administrators, and successful children.
I that was amazing, but there's one problem I have with that because I am in New York. Pretend I'm a New York State voter for 1 minute.
Yep.
And my governor told me there's kids in Queens that don't even know what a computer is.
They're in the Bronx.
The Bronx. I wanted to point to Queens because you're in Queens. And,
yes.
You know,
it's the Bronx.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense now. I was trying to make a little joke, but when you
no.
Well, now I get it.
But now it makes sense.
Punchline.
So,
yes.
Is this the Bronx?
Yes.
All right.
So, in fact, I'm actually a black kid from the Bronx, so I have to have my white friends set this up because I don't do it. So I call them up.
That makes sense.
I call my white friends up and I say, "Fix it."
Hey,
then I just show up.
Hey, Chad, can you come over here and help me?
Exactly.
We're gonna start wrapping this up because I know we have obligations with you and Eric. You know, I'm here in the 5th largest economy in the world, and it was a beautiful day. It was like 95 degrees here today. It was something ridiculous. I didn't mention my obligatory statements as I normally do, but I'm gonna ask Eric for his last quick statement question for Mr. Sharpe.
A 1 minute elevator pitch for the person you run into tomorrow that's never heard of you. Please go.
If you are leaning left or leaning right, here's what I know. You're unhappy. You're not getting what you want. The left has controlled the government for many years, changed nothing. The right has controlled the government for many years, changed nothing. The only way you can actually make change if you vote for somebody who could actually make a single issue coalition and get something done to give us change in this country. If we don't start changing, we will maintain a culture of decadence and decay. I don't want that. We are in decay. How do we change that? By starting change. Vote differently. Vote independent. Vote Larry Sharpe.
Boom. All right, D, you're going to have to clip that one. That was fire.
All right. And for me, was there any subject that we didn't touch upon that you just want to point to real quick and express why you would be the best candidate and what you would bring to the table?
Look, the
Why
reality
you are
of
the
it
best candidate. Yeah, my bad.
yeah, no worries. The reality of this is again, do you want change or not? If you're someone who says things are great, you probably shouldn't vote for me. I don't mean to be mean, but I'm being forward. If you like what's happening and you think things are awesome, okay, don't vote for me. Makes sense. Vote for whoever's in charge now. You're happy. If you're saying to yourself, I'm unhappy, things aren't good, here's what I would ask you to do. Vote differently. That's what I ask you to do. Vote differently. Push for someone. You might go, Larry, why would I vote for you? You can't win. It's a wasted vote. I hear that all the time. Let me give you two options, two ideas. Number one, where are the last 3 Republican people who ran for governor? You don't even know who they are. You don't know where they are. You haven't seen them. They're gone. I'm still here. I'm still here crossing the state every year. I'm still here giving you ideas. I'm still here fighting for the state that I love. If you gave your money, time, and vote to someone, a Republican in 2018, you threw your vote, money, and time away. If you gave it to a Republican in 2022, you threw your time, money, and vote away. If you give it to someone in 2026, you will throw your time, money, and vote away. That's a wasted vote, wasted time. If you put money into me in 2018, you invested it because I'm still here. If you put it in 2022, you invested it because I'm still here. If you put it me in 2026, you'll be investing it because I'm still here. A vote, a donation for me is an investment. For anybody else, it is a wasted vote, wasted money, wasted time. That's the most important piece to understand. How do I know this? Look at what's happened in New York City right now. In New York City right now, it's at a point where the Republican is a spoiler.
For real. All right. So how can the people, we have your website up right now, but how do the people reach you on social media and all of your contact info?
Larry Sharpe on everything. I'm the most popular Larry Sharpe in the country, as I mentioned. Just Larry Sharpe on everything. Larry Sharpe Twitter, Larry Sharpe Facebook, Larry Sharpe TikTok, Larry Sharpe YouTube, Larry Sharpe everything. I'm on all the things.
And you hear that, people. You heard it here on the Only Real Libertarian podcast. I want to, I told you this in the pregame and whatnot, but I truly thank you for what you're doing. Because like the man said, he's taking time off from work, going in debt to put liberty first. That's sacrifice. And I remember when I first started coaching, my mentor told me you have to do this for the right reasons.
Yes.
And when somebody does something for the right reasons, you need to pay attention to why they're doing it, because that's an example for humanity. And Larry Sharpe is doing things for the right reasons. So I ask you all to go to LarrySharpe.com. Upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a donate button. And I want you guys to click that button and give what you can, because this is where we make the stand on liberty right now in these dangerous times where the duopoly is jockeying for a monopoly. And that's what's happening right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat that shit in no way, shape, or form. They are jockeying for ultimate power, and they're playing for keeps. One thing, when you give government something, including your tax dollars, you're never getting that shit back. You're not getting it because government services suck. So you're giving it your tax dollars. If you give them power to go and pick up people off the street simply by the way they look, you better be ready for that shit to happen to you, because that's a precedent. And a lot of people confuse nationalism with patriotism. Patriotism is dissent. And nationalism is a rubber stamp for the government to do whatever the hell it wants to do. And, that's my little rant. Larry, do you have any last words before we sign this thing out?
LarrySharpe.com, brothers. LarrySharpe.com.
Eric?
Awesome. Hey, Larry, it's a blast. Good catching up. Dee mentioned this earlier. Thank you once again. Back in 2023, running for Jacksonville City Council, you and Chase came to one of our get-togethers, and we put on a great show. I'll never forget it. Love running into you at all the conventions. Keep doing everything you're doing for liberty, for the Libertarian Party, both national and at the state level. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. This has been the Black Powder Podcast, the only real libertarian podcast. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Larry. We always end this podcast with this slogan, this phrase, this liberty-minded phrase: live free or die.
Or die.
This is the Black Powder Podcast, coming at you live and direct.
Your salty tears season my life. It's the Black Powder Podcast.